Hello and welcome to another of my 40 years in publishing videos. Today concerns the Booker Prize winning title, Moon Tiger. Now I have got so many stories about this, but this is probably the most important one because these two books, whilst they might look the same, are in fact very, very different, and not just big ones because it's got Booker Prize winning sticker on the front. Future videos will talk about what it's like working for a publisher when you've won the Booker Prize, but like for instance, the ISBN I still know off by heart is 0233981071 because I had to handwrite it down so many times because this was an era pre-computers. So Moon Tiger, it was originally published on the 7th of May 1987 and it was reprinted before publication. So what that means is that we'd sold all our copies through to the bookshops and the wholesalers, and we'd run out of stock. And because at that stage, it's a really risky time for a publisher before a book goes on sale, because you don't know whether those copies are going to sell through, whether there's actually going to be end customers for those books, or whether actually they're going to be returned, because most books are sold, sale, or returned to bookshops and wholesalers. So we arranged a very tentative reprint of 1,500 copies. And that print run arrived in the warehouse on the week I was on holiday. When I came back from holiday, the first thing I was told is that the reprint before publication had been misbound. What I understand happened is that at the printer, they dropped the files, and as they tried to rearrange them as best they could, they got stuck on the end of the chapters which have no page numbers, and that two of the chapter endings got transposed. Now, I don't know how this got picked up, and I'd love for one of my former editorial colleagues to tell me, but it was picked up very, very swiftly. And as far as I'm aware, 1,497 copies were pulped. I have a misbound copy. One of my colleagues has a misbound copy, and I understood at the time that Penelope Lively said one of her friends had a misbound copy. But I'm really curious to know if there are any other misbound copies out there. The way to check whether it's a misbound edition is it will be the Andre Deutsch hardback edition. It will have the Andre Deutsch colophon. If it's missing its jacket, that's what the spine will look like. Then, if you go to the title page, and on the title page, it will say, first published in May 1987 and reprinted before publication by Andre Deutsch Limited. That will all be one sentence. There'll be no break in that. First published in May 1987 and reprinted before publication. But the key way to tell if you've got a misbound edition of Moon Tiger by Penelope Lively is to go to what is page 40, or the page opposite, page 41. And if it looks like that in length and starts by saying, I thought all this might be reasonably interesting, it is, says Claudia, then you have a misbound edition. If, however, on page 40 it says, They enter the restaurant. Sylvia sits alone at a table before a glass of iced tea and a very large plateful of salad. I'm afraid to tell you, you have a correctly bound edition. So please tell me, are there any other misbound editions out there that didn't meet the great old pulping machine in the sky? So this is what the incorrectly bound looks like. And this is what the correctly bound edition looks like. Happy hunting. If you're interested in a career in book publishing, please check out the bookcareers.com website, or you can contact me at my email, suzanne@bookcareers.com. May you all be doing a job you love and being paid the salary that you so richly deserve.